Yes, hello, welcome back to an episode of Thames FC with me, Dr. Benji, firmly Scottish, apparently, don't know we. We start today then with Englishman, 21-year-old Michael Smith, the target man, who currently, I'll quickly show you this, is the highest average rating player in the league with a 7.64, looking very good indeed. Doesn't have the most goals or the most assists, but is doing pretty well, generally speaking. I'm very impressed with him this year, and hence we've signed him up for another one-year contract. Wage concerns, though, that's the name of today's episode. He's on 120 quid a week, and financially, it's going well. Viewers, £447,000 in the kitty. Nobody is happy with training. Pretty much everyone is unhappy with training. So I thought I'd get myself a fitness coach in, because that's where the main concerns lie. Board won't let me have one. They've actually also restricted the budget and said you're spending too much. So I don't know what happens in the future now. I don't know at what point this gets too much and we can't continue. If you look at the contracts here, you can see the boys are on money now, which is good, generally speaking. It means we've tied players down to contracts, which means it's a lot harder for teams to just come in and take players willy-nilly. Occasionally we still get offers for the likes of Michael Emery. Cameron Campbell gets offered quite a lot. I would offer them contracts, but they want, again, like 150 quid. We can't do it. I now worry about the fate of a lot of these players going into the next season when contract renewal comes around. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm nervous for it. I'll put it that way. We've not talked about it too much, and before we go into the games and show you what's happened since we last met, it's worth noting that in the rest of our team, there's players that you do still recognise. Frankie Sawyer's still here, Luke Coleman-Carr's still here, Taverner's still here. We've got Stephen Wright still here, Dan McAteer, Daniel Gray, Dominic Taylor. They're still here, just loving life. I'm happy for them to be at Thames for the rest of their lives, considering they're not earning that much money, by which I mean they're earning no money. So since we last met then, this has been our fixtures and our form. It was Eastie and Worcester, our last two fixtures. Then it was a 1-1 against Lancaster, Tom Gillette getting an 82nd minute goal. And then North Ferriby gave us one of the bigger beatings we've had so far this season. Not particularly pleasant. 5-1. It was 3.5 time, 5-0. After 54 minutes, and after the Brett Squires goal, that was it. Luckily for us, it sort of stopped at 5-1. I thought it was going to get to sort of 7-8, so I was a little bit concerned. And then straight after that, Farsley, 4-0 win. Coca, Praggers, Hallahan and Heath on the score sheet. We were back to win in ways. And then a draw against Altrincham, that's harder to say than it should be. And then a nice win against Stafford as well. Peter Praggers in the goals. And then two 1-0 defeats back-to-back, Sheffield and Winsford, two sides that are pretty close to us in the league table. Then a massive game away at... Hang on, who are Winsford? Why were 8,000 people at Winsford? Sorry, I've only just seen that for the first time. 8,000 people at Winsford. Who plays for Winsford? That's not... Scott Brown plays for... Who else plays for Winsford? I can now begin to understand why I lost to Winsford. Joe Piggott plays for him, striker, formerly of Dundee. What's happening? I mean, he's also... What the... I mean, Scott Brown is putting in the crowds. They get actually, at home games, they get... I mean, it was a bit of a poor attendance, actually. They get so many fans. I had no idea. Okay, that's news to me. I mean, they're getting so many more people than everybody... What are their wages? Move on. Then a 4-2 win over Sutton Coldfield and a draw against Haverhill Borough. Actually, that was the most recent game I played, literally about 10 minutes ago. Tom Gillette, Michael Smith, 94th minute equaliser. I went, wah! Like that, but no one saw it, so you just have to picture it. You can picture it. So today, Bradford, PA and Kings Lynn. If you take a look at the league table even, you can see we find ourselves currently in 5th position. Kings Lynn in 16th. And so if you take a look at the league table, you can see we find ourselves in 5th position. Kings Lynn, who we play later on, are in 16th. And then Bradford, PA, who we play next, are 21st in the league, and it should be a game we can most certainly win. Injuries, though, are a bit of a concern today. We've got an injury to Ian Thompson, who plays on that right-hand side. Luckily for us, Nigel Black can come in and we'll feature instead, and then we can bring Jordan Brown onto the bench. Probably going to loan out Andrade, by the way. I just think he needs to play games more often. Obviously, he's not going to progress quickly. I've not played him as much this year, so I'm going to get him out, get him some loan time, and hopefully he'll come back a better player. The rest of the team is going to look like this then. Elliot Taylor is featuring back in goal for us. Michael Emery, after a decent performance last time, 5-1, you saw it. Taylor, Campbell, Coker, Heath and Connolly, Gillette, Hallahan, Howard, Black's there as well, and then we've got Smith and Peter Praggers up top through the middle. Hallahan and Howard are becoming the partnership at the moment. We've got Brandon Howard, who is more playmakery, and I think actually that suits us slightly better. Brett Squires, he's a bit more of a box-to-box kind of player, whereas I quite like the creativity offered from Brandon Howard, and you can see we're quite well-rounded in terms of star ratings and roll ability. So, let's go into this then. Team instructions currently are retain possession, shorter passing, work ball into the box, whipped crosses, close down more, and a much higher defensive line. I'm trying to squeeze the pitch. We did it a few seasons ago. I'm doing it again. And we're playing a sort of possession-based high press style, but not that much pressing because I find that it drags everyone out of position. It's dangerous. Okay then, team selection. Let's see how we do. Confirm all that. Jobs are good, and here we go. Right, so I'll make the pitch. This is what we're going to do from now on. We're going to make the pitch a bit smaller. I know it's a bit awkward. It makes things smaller, but it's easier than doing it the other way around. And I like to have the other bits and pieces on the screen, and that's the same thing. Right then, Bradford PA, a side that we should definitely be beating. I think playoffs is the absolute maximum for us this year. As Peter Pragas goes forward, ball across to Smith. Oh, the partnership doesn't combine. I mean, they do combine, just not successfully. It's now a throw-in on this side, and it falls to Peter Pragas. He's actually got a bit of an injury there. Tom Gillette, back to Howard, shot on goal. 10 minutes in, we're tempting fate. And fate is goals, I've decided. Peter Pragas was struggling, but he's getting back to a bit more fitness. And I think he's going to settle at 81 and he might, 82. Is he going to go up or down? This is the game. Up again. I mean, who saw this coming? What's his injury then? A lower leg injury. Well, he seems to be back to almost full fitness, all things considered, as it's now Bradford PA, whose clearance isn't particularly good. Coker lifts one. Oh, Smith's there. Peter Pragas, the injured Peter Pragas, can't fire it past Booth, makes the save. Just over half an hour gone, and every highlight so far has gone our way. Taylor has come out for this free kick, and he launches it forward. Wright puts it forward to Colshaw, though. We've not seen anything from Bradford PA yet, so is that a sign of things to come? Or are they just going to play a through ball now? And we're going to defend that. Coker's pretty quick. We play a high line with these two players at the back. With Heath and Coker, we're pretty quick. Campbell on that right side is also pretty quick. So I could afford to do it. Squeeze the pitch a little more and create less space for them. As the ball goes forward to Smith, who plays it back to Howard, the playmaker, into Hallahan. Those two do combine, as I said before, quite nicely. Black plays it all the way to Best. And now here comes the through ball. The high line is not worked, and they're 1-0 up, and everyone's going to leave comments saying don't play the high line, although I've just seen in the last two games that I've played that it worked perfectly. We'll drop it back a little bit because I feel peer pressure. God's sake, why? Shouldn't change this. I should persevere with my beliefs, but I'm not. Ball played forward. He's in on goal. It happens anyway. Harvey Saunders with it. Bradford PA right down the bottom. I mean, our form recently, you saw it a minute ago, is so up and down. It is ridiculous. There's no consistency levels. We started the season pretty well, and now we're basically having the form of a mid-table side, and it's not really working out. Like, we're dropping further and further away from the top two, they're getting a bit of an unassailable lead. The problem we're going to have is there are a lot of decent teams now. Like, you've seen some of the players, the likes of Bournemouth, Winsford now, who have now established a fantastic, that we're going to, if we get into the playoffs, we're going to face one of these really good teams. So even if we get there, it's a little bit mission impossible. Chance for us, though. And so far, we've seen them have one shot. It's gone in. Ball finds its way to Smith, though. And Hallahan is going to play it out to Gillette on this left-hand side. Gillette's ball forward doesn't quite reach Peter Pragas. And we might see another massive ball over the top. We're not even playing the high line anymore. It just happens anyway. And he's missed a golden opportunity. We're going to get Liam Kinnear in. Pragas is struggling with that injury. I don't want to risk him any further, so we'll get Liam Kinnear on. Even Michael Smith might have a pretty good combination anyway, as Howard's actually got a knock in the centre. Brett Squires is going to come on, and time is ticking away. We are going to switch things up then and go slightly more attacking. And do you know what? I'm actually going to take it off retaining possession and make it slightly more mixed. Black with a free kick on the edge. Oh, he's put it over. I thought it was going in. Oh, flipping heck. I convinced my own brain. Furious. Absolutely furious. Time is ticking away here, and it looks as if we're going to fall to Bradford PA, aren't we? I mean, could I have done more in this game? Probably. Has one ball over the top outdone me? Yes. Did we miss chances early on? Yes. Am I furious? Yes. Not happy at all. I'm going to plug the camera into the battery pack thing. I don't know what I'm doing. It's going to run out. I mean, I've got to sort it out. You have life. There we are. I'm just like God. Without all the religious bits. Right, well, Kings Lynn coming up. If anything happens in between the 5th of February and the 12th of February, I shall let you know. I'm disgruntled. Peter Pragas has got a tight calf. It'll be fine. Don't you want to get away from the team known as Bradford PA, because they've got what we need, and that was a victory. Dwayne Andrade is going to Great Yarmouth. For those that know me, you'll know that's quite funny. If you don't know me, then you won't get that, really. Basically, I'm local. Right then, we're playing Kings Lynn today, and unsurprisingly, there, folks, it says inconsistent when describing our recent form. That is fair. I mean, yes, it is very inconsistent. I mean, look at that, 4 wins in a lot of games. That is pretty poor. When you think about how we started the season with a lot of green, recent form has been, I'm a bit worried about it. We could well slip out the top 5 here if things don't go our way. We could go actually as low as maybe 9th if things go really badly, which then just creates sort of a mid-table mess again. In terms of the team, I think we'll keep it as we did last game. I don't really love the fact that I'm playing Nigel Black. He's got to come in and play because we've got nobody else. But Ian Thompson has been really good for me recently, and that is part of the problem, I think. 8 assists for him this season, a 7.07. It's one of those players that you probably don't think about too much during the series, but actually is putting in really consistent performances. Very similar story with Tom Gillette on the other side. On the surface, doesn't look particularly good, but 5 goals, 3 assists, 7.0 average rating, just puts in a shift every single week. And those two together have been really good. They provide a really nice balance. And Nigel Black hasn't had the game time, and we'll see if he does it well today. Then we're playing the 4-4-2, of course, and they're playing a 4-5-1, packing the middle. So this should be interesting. Elliot Prince up front, who actually looks really nicely well-rounded, and I would like him to play for me, please. It's not going to happen. He costs money. He's on a wage. I'm going to tell them passionately, we could fall out the playoffs here. Get out there and impress me. Cameron Campbell cares. I mean, he's got the most appearances for the club. Of course he cares. He loves this team. He loves this fan base. You know the Clubman Award you get at presentation evenings? He's having it every single year. Hallahan then plays it into Howard, into Connolly, and the midfield so far. For God's sake, I was going to say are combining pretty well. It's gone to... we're playing this high line again. I've started with it, but I'm going to trust it today. We're not going to switch it even if it goes wrong. Prince has gone through. Taylor with a good save. Bollocks. Bollocks, bollocks, bollocks. Hopefully you're not offended by the word bollock. I've said bollocks at least 5 times in the last 30 seconds. I could say testicles, but it's not got the same impact for me. Taylor parries it up 1-0 to Kings Lynn. What's going on? We just don't seem to want to win games more. I'm not changing it though. We're sticking with this, even if they are good up front, even if they are a little bit quick. I'm sticking with this high line. We're going to try and force it a bit more as well. We're going to attack. We're going to try and put more pressure on them. We've got 2 lots of match stats. That's unnerving me. We need to try and find an opening somewhere. So far, it's not really happening. We're going to try to exploit the flanks and work it less, so they might start whipping in a few more crosses. The front 2 are deadly when given service. You give them nothing, they give you nothing. And we're going to be at half-time here. 1-0 down, a very similar story to our previous game. And I'm going to start getting a bit aggressive, I think. Show me something else second half, because this is not good enough. I'm also going to tell them as we go, I'm going to demand more. I mean, I don't think they can give me any less. I mean, Liam Delan was talking to me in the week going, can I get a start? I was going, Michael Smith's in good form. If he doesn't do well today, though, we're going to have to start thinking about changing the forward areas. And I don't really want to drop Michael Smith, who we've seen is our best performer this season, the best performer in the league this season. So it's becoming a bit of an issue, though, if we're not scoring goals. Gillette plays it across. It's cut out, though. And it goes back to their goalkeeper, who launches it forward. Now, we should win this pretty comfortably, and we do. But the knockdown falls the way of Kings Lynn, who, I've got to say, with their 3 midfielders, are causing me all sorts of problems. Is it time for Michael Emery to come back in? Because he's devastated he's not playing. Taylor's giving me nothing. Brett Squires is back in the centre, on automatic. We're changing it. I reform to type so quickly. It's so frustrating though, because you play a few games. You've seen like in recent weeks we've won a game like 4-0. We've played pretty well. We've got points against the teams around us. We lose to Bradford PA, who are tosh, and now this. And I don't know where we are in the league, but it's going to depress me. Into sixth position. Form's got to pick up soon, because this is getting ridiculous. I mean, we're 2-0 down. We're seeing nothing. I'm getting nothing from the boys. Smith's going to have to step out, advance forward, but we'll just put... get Kinnear on as a poacher. Why not? Can it get any worse? These front 2 are doing nothing. And this does happen. I mean, look, we could have played a save. I could have set up a save this year where we get promoted every year, but... this is what it's like sometimes, and it's incredibly frustrating. I mean, what is Denan doing? Passing it around like Barca bloody loner. I mean, that header is questionable. The ball through the middle. Can't stand it. It's so bad. I've literally just played recent games with this high line, and it's been working as planned. Like, it's creating teams far more problems. I play it in these 2 games. We're dicked on by 2 balls through the middle that have exploited our high line. I'm furious. There's a highlight after the goal. Unless we score 3 goals in this highlight, I don't think we're going to win this game. Ball played over the top. That's a highlight, is it? Is it their highlight? Is that what I've been tricked into? I mean, we've still got the ball, so I mean, it could be us again. Into Kinnear, find Denan, goal back in the game. It goes all the way to Black, who somehow gets a goal in this. They've had 4 clear-cut chances. I mean, we can't be giving that up. They've got a massive, like, I don't know what, 15 people in the crowd. Kinnear goes forward. I mean, the cross, he can't be, he's not aimed for Black there. There's no way. They've got a free kick. It's going to have to be now, boys. The comeback's going to have to happen right now. Counter from this. Come on. Get it off him. Go on, boys. Liam Danan, come on, find Liam. Go, it's Brett Squires. He's racing forward. I mean, it'll be a fantastic comeback. Squires has gone for goal. Danan's there. It's 3 back in the game. 87 minutes gone. The substitutions are proving to be worth it at the moment. Danan plays it forward towards Squires, who is kind of hold-up player, if anything, and then decides to drive its way forward. False sense of security. Save from Evans. Goal from Danan. This isn't over. Is there going to be a final twist? I mean, there's 2.5 minutes to go, and I'm seeing little highlights. We're pushing these wide players on for the last 2 minutes. There's a minute to go. Is there a slim chance that we get a goal back in forward? Danan, come on. This would be quite the comeback. Liam Danan, he's been tackled. Win it back, maybe? No? Okay, then. Maycock fires it forward, and then with about 30 seconds to go, this is going to have to be one hell of a turnaround. Taylor, come on. We can still do this. It's launched forward towards... We can't do this. I don't know why I've given myself false hope here. They're forward. Are they actually going to score? Is that how we're going to end this game? I mean, that is the end. Well, it was nearly a comeback, wasn't it? No clear-cut chances, but at least we got a couple of goals. 3-2. Doesn't look as bad, does it? But, I mean, away from home, unlucky I've told them. Don't know why I've told them that. We were terrible. So I'm just going to have to sit here furious for a bit, I guess. What an episode. 2 defeats to 2 teams we should have definitely beaten. You know, you look at it before the episode, you think, 2 games we've probably got a good chance of winning. Some good highlights, some memorable moments. No, just pain and anguish. Who incidentally might be my partnership next year up front. So, well, that is going to bring us to the end then. I'm going to leave it here while it continues forward. It takes about 3 minutes these days, so we're going to continue. And that is going to bring us to the end of today's... Oh, there we are, look at that. Thames promotion bid takes hits. They ain't wrong. Next episode, I don't know how things will go, but we'll come up for Marine and Warrington. I do believe Warrington near the top of the table, so it should be a good clash. We find ourselves in 6th position then, and that is going to bring us to the end today. If you've enjoyed it, do drop a like. If you want to see some more, subscribe to the channel. And Michael Smith, who started with the highest average rating today, is now down to 3rd. He represents us in many ways, and we love with care then. I'll see you again soon. Goodbye. I'm not happy. Is that obvious? I'm not happy. Is it not? Is it obvious? Oh, dearie me. I was in a strop this episode, wasn't I? I need to calm myself down. Thank you to Dan, Daryl and Raffle for getting involved and supporting over on the Patreon. Much love to you all, and I will see you again at 5 PM tomorrow for more We Love With Care from me.BenjiFM. Let's hope tomorrow's a little bit calmer.